Good morning. Late morning. Are you taking a break, honey?
What?
Are you taking a break? Oh, okay. Nothing. I was just wondering. Nothing. Oh, man. Hi, good morning, Myra. Sorry to read that last comment you said about that you're grieving. I was asking you, and that last comment, were you close with your cousin? Obviously, you must have been. And I was saying I don't have any close cousins at all. Not one. I had to go clean this morning. Almost an hour away. I'll mute my mic just a second. Okay, let's see. That's fine. That is perfectly alright. But I'm sorry for your hard time. Got a few minutes before I gotta pick up my daughter from church. I thought I might talk about something. I was just listening to a video. It spurred me on to think about this and talk about it. It had to do with paying attention to your reactions to situations, not necessarily what you're going through right now, though. Just getting myself situated. I've got a scent in my wax warmer and I cannot. It smells so good, but I can't think of what the name of it or what it smells like. It says sugar drizzle. Brown sugar. I think that's what it smells like. Brown sugar. It smells so good. I don't know if you're still here, Myra. I'm showing nobody here, but I hope you might be able to get you a nap and rest today a little bit. Yeah, there's a few people I haven't seen in a while I've been thinking about. Alright, I'm gonna sit down here. What you doing, Abby? Are you still there, Myra? Might wash these dishes up while I give this a few minutes to see if anybody comes home. Might be noisy. Get some water in. You still there, Myra? You get this water in. I'm trying to wash these dishes up. Be a good day to take a nap today. Do that if I can. Yeah, like I was saying, I was just watching a video this morning. It got me to thinking about some things. It's pouring the rain like a monsoon here. All yesterday, all today, some hurricane. I guess it's that hurricane passing through. Well, my back's hurt. Just getting those dishes washed up while I wait. Good morning, Lloyd. I don't think Myra's still here. Just going through a hard time. Just finishing rinsing these dishes. So many people going through a hard time. How you doing this morning, Lloyd? Did you sleep good last night? My back's hurting. I got arthritis in my back. Oh, you working on breakfast? All right. Well, I won't ask too many questions. So you have your hands free. I was watching a video this morning. It got me thinking about something. Trying to think how to put it. Something I think about, it would help anybody to think about. So I think I'll just start sharing that, talking about it. I saw that. I saw he wasn't feeling good. Yeah, he gets sick a lot, don't he? I mean, to be so young. I won't turn my camera off, and I'm going to share about this. Won't be long. So I'm probably making anybody dizzy by carrying this camera around. So I'll be keeping him in my mind. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and share what I was gonna share about. And then I picked my daughter up. Just gotta take her. He's a bit worried. Well, I don't want to ask you questions because I know you're fixing breakfast, but oh, is he worried it might be COVID? I just probably that COVID hit as close as home as it could get with somebody I know. Her brother did have it, and he's 70 some years old, and she had to quarantine until her test came back. But they said she was negative. And I just saw some news clips. I don't have news at home or any cable actually right now. Everybody here just watches Netflix or YouTube. But anyway, it said something about a surge and a spike in that. I guess where they're kind of relaxing the measures. I don't say near as many people wearing masks, but everybody has opinions about that and kind of divided in their thoughts about it. But anyway, it said because of that we'd be seeing a growing number of it. It's a really strange thing happening, you know. Oh, he does. He thinks it is. Might need to go to the doctor. Be checked. he works out in the public, so yeah. Um, so what do you, if you're able to type, if not, don't worry about it. What would you say your main thing is you're learning about right now from the Lord? Looked at a lot of scriptures this morning about understanding. And the Lord's helping me to understand about understanding lately. Be still. Like listening and waiting. Yeah, learning to listen. Yeah. That's what I feel like I'll do anymore is just have to waiting on the Lord, waiting for the next lesson, the next thing He wants me to realize, all that kind of thing. But it's most important. That's a great thing that He's having you to do. Um, Learning to listen, learning to wait, be still, trying to recognize Him more. Because, well, life can be so mundane and seem so purposeless and vain and striving after the wind unless we can find the Lord in it. You know, and that's so wonderful and exciting. Gives so much purpose to our life. Finding Him out. Um, so this, I'll just go ahead and share a little bit about this that anybody can think about. And it's got to do with, what did I put? Pay attention to your response. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Um, I remember when the Lord first started to teach me about this. It was during the time that my husband had left, and my dad was living at my house, and of course he was battling his demons, and that all was hard. And that night, Daddy had to be taken to the hospital by ambulance. The kids were upstairs in the bed, and when they left with Daddy, I was just so scared, so overwhelmed. I just didn't know how in the world I was gonna make it, and I was in here in the bedroom, just crying out to the Lord. I was like, Lord, I cannot find you in this. I don't feel like I'm gonna make it. I'm overwhelmed. I can't take much more. And so clearly something came to me, and something else happened. I don't know if you're on here, Lord. I don't know if you'd heard me share about this before, but I can count on one hand how many times something like this has happened. It was just a very real experience where the Lord allowed me to be aware of His presence here with me. It was just beyond real. And I was just crying, pouring my heart out, crying, sobbing, begging the Lord to tell me something, give me some direction, give me just one word, keep me going. And I was just gasping for breath. And anyways, uh, all of a sudden, the air in this bedroom became the most freshest, purest air I have ever breathed. I can't describe it. I was just gulping it in because it was just refreshing me. It was bringing life to me. It was calming me down. Good morning, Justin. Hope you're doing good. Um, just sharing about a little something this morning. And like I said, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 times has something so beyond real happened like this, but I just didn't want to stop breathing it. I just want to stop breathing that air. But I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Lord was with me. He was right here with me. And, oh, you're at church. Okay. Alrighty. Well, I hope you have a good time. I'm glad you stopped in to say hello. And anyway, the Lord told me something that night. And when I say He told me something, I just mean it came into my mind. And I knew it was the Lord. Um, I didn't understand what He meant, but I wrote it in my journal. And something He had said was because I was just complaining, I was heartbroken. I was so upset about all these circumstances going on that I had no power to change, and I didn't know how to deal with them. And what He said was, He said, it's never about the circumstances. He said, it's always got to do with something between me and you. Like I said, I didn't know what He's talking about. I wrote it down. And then anytime I feel like He told me something like that, I just wait on Him to show me more. I'll look into the scriptures about whatever I think I heard from Him. So in this case, He had said, it's never about the circumstances. It's always got to do between me and you. I looked up scriptures about circumstances. I mean, just anything I could do to try to learn more about what He said. And anyway, this has been, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And it has taken so long for a bigger picture to come, like for the understanding to come about what He was talking about. And what He's shown me that I do, that if anybody had never thought about it, they could start to think about it. If it's the truth, then it'll be the truth for me, it'll be the truth for you. If it's truth, then it won't just help me, it could help somebody else. And what it was now, these years later, let me share that, and then I'll try to fill in the blanks for just a few minutes. I only got about 20 minutes. Is that anything that happens to me, anything that touches my life, I mean, you could name it, anything. More than my focus being on what happened, the circumstance, the hard person, my mess up, you name it. More than focusing on that, I am noticing what reaction or response that evokes in me. And whatever comes up in me, that's what I go and talk with the Lord about. Now, I'll talk to Him about the situation, the person, whatever, too, the need. if the car tore up. I talked to him about that, but I've more and more I've learned that what's most important is not so much the circumstance, but it's what came up in my heart. Like, for example, let me see if I can get my dog to stop barking. Abby, what are you barking at? Somebody. Hush, hush. I'm going to mute my mic just for a second. Look at these. Be still. Be still. Nobody's here. Everything's cool. But anyway, yeah, like, for example, I'm going to give an example of that. Because, like I said, if you hadn't ever thought about it, you could try. It's like, let me think. Okay, well, my son come by. He had to tell me something. Hush. He had to talk. And he had a lot on his mind. He was feeling overwhelmed. My teenage son. And he got his first ticket last night. I didn't know about it. Crossing over the line. The cops were kind of pushy about, have you been drinking, doing something, this and that. He told me all about that. And then he and his girlfriend that have been dating for over a year, she said she needed some space or whatever. So he was sad. He didn't have no appetite, all this stuff. And he just wanted to share that and everything. I sat with him and listened. All right. The normal, natural human tendency is for me to start worrying about my son, thinking about what he told me, worrying, is he going to get so depressed he'll do something stupid? Just whatever my mind might take me. Abby, no. That is the circumstance. But what he just came and told me, what did that cause to happen within me? The temptation came to worry. That's what I talked to the Lord about. Lord, help me. I'm being tempted to worry. Because, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because that's contrary to what we're told in the scripture. He says so many times, do not worry and do not fear. Now, that might not be where everybody's at, like what the Lord's got their attention on, but that's a big thing he's helping me with over the past few years. Yeah, it's tough. Like, I got to go out and come back. Okay, so Abby, no. Nobody's here. Be still. I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, that's what I need the Lord's help for, to not worry in this situation. That's one example. Let's see what another example is. Okay, this morning, my husband said something to me. He doesn't mind if I share. We're pretty open. He said something to me. Good morning, Amy. Just sharing for a few minutes. Hope you're doing good today. Just sharing about something I've kind of learned to do, and maybe anybody could try it if they haven't. And it's about something that the Lord helped me to start practicing some years ago. And that is, pay attention to your response and your reaction to whatever happens in this world, anything that happens in your life. So let me share another example. So my husband said something, and he said something to me, all right? Maybe not in the nicest way. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't in the nicest way. All right? I got two options there. This is kind of how the Lord's led me to do. I can either focus on and think about what he said and let it stew in my mind and replay it and think about, what I want to say, or I can notice what it's doing within me. That what he said, what it started doing in me was I felt a little bit of offense trying to rise up. Good. I'm glad you understand. That's amazing. It's good to be understood. Um, so that's kind of what I need the Lord's help for. Lord, help me not to focus on exactly what he said, but help me to focus on what it's causing to rise up in me. What it was pushing on me and causing to come up in me was this feeling of, I want to get offended. I want to sulk. I want to be quiet, not say nothing, maybe ignore them a little bit. Well, we're not to be quickly offended. So you see, again, what I need the Lord's help for is to help me with whatever's going on in my heart and mind so I won't be offended. I don't know if that makes sense. In these ways I'm sharing, I can share some more examples. The main thing that I figure out now that the Lord was starting to teach me way back then was to, where he says, examine yourself, give careful attention to your ways, guard your heart, for out of it flow all the issues of life. What he was showing me was any circumstance, anything that happens, yeah, there's the physical, actual thing that happened, but there's also something going on within us that's happening. And whatever that is, it's coming out of our heart. So whatever our reaction is to a situation, our response, the feelings and emotions that come up, that's coming from the heart. And that is what I present to the Lord, if that makes sense. Let me give another example of this. That's what I go and talk to the Lord about. Yeah, I talk to him about the situation, the circumstance, what somebody said that was bad, this, that, and the other. But more and more, I go and speak with him about whatever came up. All right, say my sister said something to me. She called and she said something. And I'm making this up. Say she said, I ran into so-and-so the other day at the hair salon. She does hair. And you won't never believe what they said about you. And she tells me. The natural human way is to pay attention to what just happened. My sister said somebody was talking about me. But what we can do is pay attention to what comes out of our heart. What might rise up within me might be some anger because of what they said. That which came out of my own heart, because the thing is, we might think we're angry because of what that person said. But out of the overflow of our own heart, we speak, we think, we act, we behave, whatever's in here. Because you see, this cup, and I think there's probably, I'm sure, in psychology classes and all this would be an example, but this is not psychology. I would say this is something the Lord's taught me. So it has a lasting, eternal value that will benefit my life and others if I can do it. But say this cup right here is full of a liquid called anger. Okay. Also, this is an example here of my heart. Say it's got anger in it, a liquid called anger. And say you come and bump into this cup. How might you bump into it? You might say something that was rude. You might talk about me behind my back and I find out about it. And all of a sudden that situation and that circumstance bumps this cup and out of it spills whatever's in there. It spills the anger. But if there's no anger in this cup, You can say what you want to about me. You can insult me, talk about me, run my name through the mud. If there's no anger in here, I don't care how many times you come and hit this cup, ain't no anger gonna come out. Does that make sense? And so anytime anybody does or says something to me and I feel anger, that's what I talk to the Lord about. Lord, help me. Help me to release this. Please change my heart in such a way that I'm not easily offended, that I'm able to quickly forgive, not hold on to it, not stew about it. Does that make sense? Um, Say this is you and this is your heart, this cup right here. Whatever is in the heart will come out when something presses on it. Say, for example, um, me and my husband's, we're doing good on our monthly budget, but all of a sudden the car tears up. I take it to shop and it's going to cost $500. All right. That situation is going to bump on me, push on me, and whatever's in my heart's going to come out. If I have still a lot of worry and fear, and the worry and fear just means that I don't yet trust the Lord as much as I want to, right? Whatever happened will come bump on this cup, and out of it will flow worry and fear. We might think, well, if the car didn't tear up and I need $500, I wouldn't have worried and feared. But no, as I'm able to trust the Lord more and more, getting to know Him as my provider, getting to believe and have more confidence that no matter what happens, He'll take care of my earthly needs here, then come what may. Then I might lose my house. Then I might lose a job. There's no income. Then all these situations can come and press on me. But what will pour out of here? Less and less worry and fear. More and more trust in the Lord. If that makes sense. You could think about it for your life, you know. And the main point of this, what the Lord was teaching me, is pay attention to your response to people, to situations. Pay attention to your reaction, because whatever comes up, that's what's in your heart. That's what He sees. We can't see it and know it. But when a situation comes, a circumstance, a hard person, whatso have you, we can get a glimpse of what's in our heart, because it's going to push on us, press on us. And out of the overflow of our heart, we're going to react. We're going to speak. We're going to behave. That's what the Lord showed me to do. I could go on with examples, but it's Misty, what He said, think about it. That's what He had said. It's not about the circumstances. It's between me and you. And what He's showing me is no matter what happens, Misty, it's not really about that circumstance. Yeah, it's real. It could be big. It could be scary. It could be fearful. But what is really going on, Misty, is what's going on in your heart, and how this is how involved He wants to be. If something comes up in my heart that I don't like or it's contrary to Him, that's what I get present to Him. You see, I'm learning more and more. All I have to present to Him are my weaknesses, my lackings, my need. That's really all in this world I have. I'm giving Him my heart, right? I'm asking Him to come into my heart. Well, that's why it's so good to know that's why we're told, guard it. Know what's going on. See past all these events and people and circumstances that are going on in your life, and know that there is things in the spiritual going on. God is spirit. You can't see Him, but you can recognize His working and what's going on that He's doing in your heart, helping, healing, want to teach you. Say I go into a live stream. I'm going to go out and come right back. Another example. Say I go to a live stream, all right? And this could really happen. It probably has happened. Say I go into a live stream on the internet and I go in and I make a comment. And I notice that nobody welcomes me, pays me any attention, responds. I might have a feeling of, here's what you can look at. Rather than what's going on there, just know that that's an instigator. That's the thing that's pushing on you. Whatever comes up is the real deal. So what might come up if that happened? I might feel disregarded, little, hurt feelings, this, that, and the other. What did that show me about my heart is, for me, what I might do, and I actually have done, Lord, help me not to look for the attention of people. Help me not be quickly offended. Help me not to judge that person just based on they didn't speak to me right now. Maybe they didn't see the comment, this, that, and the other. Whatever's going on in me, that's what I take to the Lord. I'm sorry I have to keep going in and out, but I'm getting ready to have to go drive and get my daughter, and I don't know if it'll stay on or not. But I'm trying to think. I don't know if anybody understands what I'm talking about. I hope I explained it right. Yeah. And the thing about it is anything that might come up is the same that's in every other human being. Might be a little more of it or a little less of it. But what the Lord wants to do is remove these fleshly ways that we have in us, this old sinful human nature that will be quickly offended, that will boast, that will be quick to lash out at somebody rather than quick to listen, that will think, not meaning to, it just happens. It's a human way. That thinks we're better than them, comparing ourselves to people. Being quick to form an opinion about somebody, this, that, and the other. And what the Lord wants to do is remove those things from us a little at a time. It's a process, it's a work. But as He strips away more and more the pride in my heart, He's going to replace it with His nature, His way, which is humility, right? He may strip away impatience and replace it with patience. That is a fruit of the Spirit. That is His way. That is the fruit of Him. That's His ways. You know, that's how He's conforming us to be more and more like Him. Sorry about that. I know that's kind of aggravating. But anyway, yeah, that's what He's doing. He wants to work on what's in here. He's coming and dwelling and living. Yeah, he's showing us what's going on inside. Exactly. He is. And see, the thing is, if He can come, if we can realize it, if we'll let Him, and if He can come and change us within, then it matters not what happens to us. Then we can walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil. Then we can listen less fear bad news. Then no matter what happens on the outside, we're worrying less and trusting Him more. Then we're able to deal with hard people more, not getting quickly offended, not being harsh and rude back. You see, we're walking more and more in His ways. But it's good to know what's going on. Then come what may. You know, we can endure. We can endure it. Endure the hard time. Because the hard time and the trouble and the affliction and all these things aren't going to go away while we're walking in this world. Jesus told us we're going to have trouble in this world. But what will change is how we deal with it, how we process it, how we think about it. And our this is too what the Lord showed me that scripture means. Set your mind on things above in Colossians rather than thinking about earthly things all the time. Set your mind on things above where Christ sits at the right hand. That's what He shows me is setting your mind on the earthly thing is paying attention to whatever happened. Though it's big, this takes practice to do. It's hard. But setting your mind on things above is what's the eternal lesson? What's the Lord trying to teach me? And He's using this circumstance. Looking towards that kind of thing. And it'll help us. You know, this is one way that we die to self and what comes natural to us. You know, and more, we will see coming out of us more of Him. Because He's kind of just ridding us of ourselves, replacing it with the fruit of the Spirit, the fruit of the flesh, the fruit of the Spirit, His way, the way He is, His nature, and stuff like that. So, you know, me trying to explain that in 30 minutes, I'm sure there's some that's thought about that, knows about that, but I'm sure there's some that's not. I think it's good for us to start to begin to see these things. So we can grow with the Lord, so we can recognize Him, so we can understand that He does care about every detail of our life. He does. And you see, too, that is how Paul could rejoice in his affliction, his trial, his persecution, because it was another opportunity for him to die and Christ to live. It was another opportunity to get to know the Lord more, to find Him out, His good ways. You know? I may record a video about that if it comes to me to where I can describe it quickly and to the point. Because it really truly is happening. You know, somebody, just because we don't realize that's happening doesn't mean it's not happening. But that is what, you know, the Lord will do. He's coming and giving us understanding. Understanding. Do you think most of this comes only through trials? No, not just trials. The Lord showed me that men are tested by praise. And He walked me through that, and He showed me that how people's good words, even though, yes, I appreciate their good words, the compliments are nice, but He showed me, Misty, just be thankful for it, but quick as you can, just forget about it. Because praise tests a man. It can cause us to be puffed up. But if we realize that, you know, He helped me to realize that about myself, that it was puffing me up. It was making me have a high estimation of myself. And we're to have a low estimation of ourselves, knowing that anything good in us, any wisdom, anything like this, that people might recognize is really Him in us. And so that wasn't necessarily a trial, but it was a compliment. Praise can come. Notice what it causes you to feel. Notice what it does to you. Take that to the Lord. Abby. So even, you know, men's praise will push on us and reveal what's in here. So with the Lord helping me with that more and more, I'm not moved by what people say, either by their positive or their negative. I just accept it, thankful for it. Maybe I accept it as a rebuke if it's a hard thing, or maybe they presented it in a rude way. I still take it to the Lord and say, Lord, was there any truth in that? Um, and then, yeah, a good thing, you know? And those times when everything seems to be going well and good, pay attention. Are you still seeking the Lord? Are you still trying to find Him? Yeah, in all things and always, I'm finding out that this can be applied. That and it's not, some people might say you don't focus on yourself, you focus on Christ. I focus on Christ. He's my hope for these things to change. So I sure do focus on Christ. But we're told to examine ourselves, give careful thought to our ways, test yourself. So I do pay attention to what the Lord's revealing to me in my own heart. But as far as where the help's going to come from and where the change is going to happen, I do focus on Christ for that because it ain't in me to do. Um, so that's just a little bit I wanted to share about that today. I hope anybody might think about it and ask the Lord to help us to realize this is happening. He will. He will. You can say, Lord, I want a real life example. No matter what happens, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, but when I have a chance to learn more about this, will you get my attention on it? Let me see it. Let me see what you see. You know? I hope anybody will try that. And whatever comes up and whatever you find, it may disgust you. You may be heartbroken over it. It may bring godly sorrow to see what still lies within what the Bible says is a wicked, deceitful human heart. Yeah, you can chew on it. But whatever comes up, present that to the Lord. Take it to Him. Don't hide it. Don't try to blame it on anybody. That's how a person can go their whole life and not change a bit. But when we're growing with the Lord, we're going to be changing. The way we think's going to change. He's going to do that, and it will happen. But yeah, I hope you can think about it, talk with the Lord about it. And you can look up scriptures too about examine yourself, test yourself. Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth will speak. All these kind of scriptures go along with that. That's, like I said, the Lord had to show me all these for more understanding to come about it. But I'm going to go and pick up my daughter from church. I'm glad you come hung out with me, Lloyd. I hope you have a good day. And we'll just keep pressing on to know them and find them out. It's a wonderful thing. So I love you. Y'all take care, okay? All right, bye-bye.